Are you awake? Marijuana's on the ballot tomorrow in Oregon, Alaska, and Washington, D.C. Voters in the nation's capital will decide whether possession should be legal. Both Western states are asking if the drug should be legalized and taxed. As Ben Tracy shows us, the pro-pot efforts rely heavily on younger voters.
And I'm calling it over at Yes on 91.
Campaign volunteers in Oregon are using the final days before Tuesday's election, canvassing voters about Measure 91. If passed, it would legalize, regulate, and tax recreational use of marijuana for adults over 21.
Treating marijuana use as a crime has failed.
What's at stake? Tax revenue. Since January, Colorado has taken in $45 million from recreational and medical marijuana sales. Yet the latest polls in Oregon suggest it's going to be close.
I urge you to vote no on 2.
In Alaska, where voters have twice said no to legalization, Measure 2 is too close to call. According to the ACLU, 81% of Alaska's drug arrests are for marijuana possession, the highest in the country. In both states, opponents worry about packaging that appeals to children. They point to Colorado, where 2 deaths are connected to edible marijuana products.
It's really hard to see these edibles as being anything but packaged for a young audience. You're talking about gummy bears, you're talking about suckers, cookies, brownies.
They're also worried about the danger to neighborhoods from users extracting the most potent part of the plant with flammable liquids.
There have been over 30 butane hash oil explosions in Colorado in just 9 months.
But pro-pot backers believe the measures could go up in smoke unless younger voters show up, a challenge in a midterm election which usually skew older.
It's time for a new generation that want more freedom and want to get rid of a bad and failed old-fashioned policy. It's time for them to vote and lead the way.
These outcomes could turn the tide in 2016, when hopes are high for legalization initiatives around the country.
A lot of the public support is gonna depend on kind of what happens in these states. I think there's a really good chance that you're going to see marijuana legalization on the ballot in California in 2016, and probably in a number of states.
For CBS This Morning, Ben Tracy, Los Angeles.
All right. Well, something we'll all be discussing on election night together, right, on Tuesday nights.
See what the young people say.
We'll see what the young people say.